Again, we thank you for joining us here on SportsHeads. We thank you for tuning into our channel on YouTube. Sam Morgan, Kevin Cato, Simon Milham. We're talking about the New Orleans Saints, who were 7-9 last season, versus the Minnesota Vikings, who were 8-8. They didn't. These two teams didn't bump heads last year. But the first game of the season, and we just got to delve right into it. It's all about Adrian Peterson playing his old team, who never had the opportunity to tackle him in practice because he was a prize player, so there's no way the coach is going to allow him to tackle Adrian Peterson, but now they're going to have to do that. But I think the one thing that Coach Mike Zimmer, which is so important for him, is that he has to make sure he gets across to the team, it's not about us beating Adrian Peterson, it's about us beating the New Orleans Saints.
Indeed. And I think that's probably going to be surrounded that. We're going to see everyone going, what is Adrian Peterson going to do? You know, it's already taken that attention off, which is probably a good thing for the Vikings to actually now concentrate on going, well, all the attention's on him, let's play our game. You know, let's get past this. And I think if they do what we expect them to do, then they probably will blow them out of the water and it'll be APU.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
The New Orleans Saints, when you look at them, let's look at this graphic here about offensively. And, you know, I mean, they pass the ball. You know, they're tremendous. First in passing offense, first in total offense, second in points. But looking at them on rushing, 16th. I don't know what Peterson adds to this team as far as being because Ingram had a nice season, over 1,000 yards last season, and I think they're going to start with Ingram, but it'd be interesting to see what his addition brings to that team offensively.
It's a glitchy
one of the words.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's a glitzy signing, but other than that, outside of it, I'm not convinced. I think Ingram is the main man. I think the problem we've got with New Orleans really is not so much offensively, it's more defensively. Injuries in their secondary last year absolutely decimated them. They brought Mike Nolan in as a linebackers coach. I know we've talked about this before, but Mike Nolan adds so much to a team.
Yep.
He was a former head coach, as we all know. And the defensive lines also had a boost. They brought in Alex Okafor as well from the Cardinals. So I think they're going to be a lot better defensively this year. That's my guess. But it is a guess because we don't know until we see them play the games.
Well, they can't help but getting better defensively because this was a terrible team. But also, when you look at them defensively, Drew Brees, 11 seasons with this organization. Only 4 times in 11 seasons has this defense been in the top 25. Okay, not the top 10, but in the top 25. They have not really, you know, we talked about some places where like they haven't helped them out with the running game. They haven't helped them out with the, you know, with the blocking. They haven't helped Drew Brees out on that defensive side of the ball.
I think it's always been let's outscore the team. Let's not worry about defense. It's always been that. And I think when you look at Drew Brees, and on average, I think it's almost close to sort of 4,500 yards or something from passing. You know, and that's crazy stats. And it's like, well, we'll just load up on the offense and we'll just hope that we outscore them. And it's just been forgotten. But obviously now, with people like AP being it, here goes another tool. Don't worry about the defense. Here's another person you can hand off the ball to.
They've also lost players as well offensively, and I think you've got to take into account the receivers. A second-year receiver, the leading receiver, Michael Johnson.
Yep.
It's going to be a difficult transition for him. Can he lead that line? Can he lead those receiving group? I don't know. I have question marks. Good player, but it's still only his second season.
So you went young there for a second. Let's stay young. Dalvin Cook takes over from Adrian Peterson as that guy. He's that guy they're looking at. But they talk about him being a 3-down back. You know, here's a team that was 32nd, and if you don't know the numbers in NFL, 30 seconds mean that you were last season in rushing the football. A lot is put on this youngster's shoulder. Wonder if he'll be able to handle it.
I don't see any reason why not. I mean, a lot depends, obviously. It all starts up front, the offensive line. They used 12 players last year.
Yeah.
They were hit really hard. 5 of them at left tackle. Now, they brought in Riley Reif, who's more, he's more of a right tackle than a left tackle, but he's going to be playing left tackle. They brought in Mike Remmers to shore up on right tackle. They're a different line. I think Dalvin Cook's going to be a good player for them long term.
Yeah.
Depends how they go this year. It's going to be a progression for them.
Minnesota last year overall was rated as the worst offensive line in the National Football League. So when you say that, you have to say Sam Bradford had a pretty decent year playing behind what many people consider the worst offensive line and not having a running game, but still to finish at 8-8. Remember at the bye week, I think they were 5-0 going into the bye week.
And that's what I was going to say there.
Yeah.
Right there. What a quick start they had. And if it wasn't for injuries, we don't know where they could have been. So
if you come into something and you've got 8 days to prepare for a whole playbook, and that's what happened with Sam Bradford last year. Brought him in 8 days before the start of the season, and he topped completion percentages throughout the NFL last year. That's huge.
I think we got to see the Sam Bradford we were expecting when he came through in the draft.
Big money man.
Yeah. We've talked about it almost that catalyst for change in the quarterback front. I think we saw that with the money there, I think the expectation on him was too heavy. And I think now he's found a home in the Vikings where actually he can probably go on and achieve what we expect him to, or at least get close to.
To be fair, he didn't have a lot of help last year.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to look at certain players. We're talking young again. Look on Treadwell, the wide receiver they had last year.
Yep.
For me, he didn't do it. Didn't get anywhere near his potential. He's got to step it up this year, and he's got to lead that line.
Looking at this Minnesota Viking team right now, do they have enough to overtake the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North?
You asking me that?
That question, no question about it.
No, I don't think they do. I think because of the changes on the offensive line, it's going to take a little while to gel. There are too many question marks, and there are too many question marks. I think Green Bay are a more solid outfit at the moment. And looking at this game overall, Kev, Minnesota are 3-point favourites to beat New Orleans. The trend here is that Minnesota are 8-2 against the Saints at home in their last 10 in Minnesota. For me, I think they cover the spread. I don't know about you. I'm just going to go with the trend. What about you?
I think they cover the spread, but I think it's a big thing for a big game for Sean Payton. Here's the guys last year, 3 consecutive years of 7-9. Career-wise, 94-66, but forget the career-wise. I mean, excellent job. But 3 consecutive seasons of 7-9. Sean Payton better show up this year. New Orleans Saints better show up this year, or things could be a little bit different in 2018 as far as the coaching staff goes in New Orleans.
That's always a problem, though, isn't it? When you've got pressure already on the coaches, is to sort of, what will happen if the sort of doubt comes in? Do the players then go, well, he's not going to be here now? And they're down tools halfway through the season. You don't want to see that. Obviously, as a fan, you don't want to see that. But you've got to think of the mentality of the players as well as the coaches. If there's question marks, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, on the Vikings, coming back to them a little bit, obviously, we obviously had the chance to meet Stephon Diggs, actually. And when we got to speak to him, the camp in the Vikings right now is they're hungry to obviously continue that sort of 5-0, and let's hopefully not have those injuries. So I think New Orleans, if they've got those question marks, it could be a bit of a danger for them.
The key for them is a slow start as well. They've had slow starts. They finished 7-9 the last 3 seasons. You look at their schedule. They've got to go to Minnesota. They haven't got a great record. They've got to play New England. They've got to play Carolina, and then they come to play the Dolphins in London. That's a really, really tough start for them.
Except for the Dolphins.
Except for the Dolphins. Minnesota's 8-8 last season. New Orleans 7-9. That should be a pretty good contest. Watching SportsHeads. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, but you can also hit us on Twitter, Instagram. We would love to hear from you. We're trying to take the program from next level to next level to next level. Enjoy.